More than 57,000 unaccompanied minors have entered the United States this year, about twice as many as did last year. Target 8 uncovering at least 300 of those kids have come to Kent County since the beginning of the year. Well, tonight, 2 West Michigan communities are holding rallies to raise awareness about this crisis. 24 Hour News 8's Danny Carlson's live at one of those events tonight. Danny?
Well, Brian, we are here at Division and Burton right now, and I want to show you this is a human chain that started at about 5 o'clock today. The organizers of this event are hoping to draw attention to an immigration system that they say is broken, and they also refer to the crisis of the unaccompanied minors coming here to America. They say their goal is to demonstrate and to raise awareness, and that was a similar goal to the second rally that we covered today as well. Groups in 2 West Michigan communities are tackling parts of the same issue tonight, immigration reform. Do you think tonight's rally could change anyone's mind?
Oh, I absolutely think so. We're going to have some personal stories from people who have either worked with refugees or who are refugees themselves. And I think personal story can change hearts and it can change minds.
A group that describes itself as Concerned Citizens in Battle Creek is hoping to raise awareness through compassion at a rally going on right now. There's going to be people out here who see this story and say, you know, these kids aren't our problem. What would you say to that person?
I would say all kids are our problem, and all kids are our joy, and all kids are our responsibility. And that really, this is about being human and remembering our humanity and being compassionate, loving human beings.
Compassion was a common theme throughout the day. Here in Grand Rapids, organizers from a completely different group say they hope to accomplish a similar goal through a human chain dozens of people long.
Our purpose in putting all this on is to be true to who we feel Jesus has called us to be. Jesus says that what's most important to him is how we treat the vulnerable people among us, and that there are a few groups more vulnerable than people who are here as immigrants without any status, and you know, particularly those children.
Now, this human chain in Grand Rapids, you can see it is moving along right now. It is headed over to the Madison Square Church. From there will be a prayer service and a candlelight vigil, and we have all of those details on our website, woottv.com. Live in Grand Rapids tonight, Danny Carlson, 24 Hour News 8.
All right, Danny, thank you. Today, the governor was out in Grand Haven at the Coast Guard Festival, and our political reporter Rick Albin asked him about the discrepancy in the number of undocumented children coming into West Michigan. Rick?
The problem is for the governor, not whether or not they should be here, but how much information he can get from the federal government. I asked him about some of the numbers that Danny was digging up earlier in the week, and he says those numbers are not what the federal government gives him. In fact, here's what he had to say.
And that number is, they said there were 92 undocumented children in the state during that time frame.
The numbers from the health department in Kent County would indicate maybe 4 times that.
Yeah, this is a difficult question, but it's a much smaller number from the federal government themselves. The process is essentially they're trying to provide everything within their own constraints, their own rules, and so we get very little information. So we don't know where these children are really from, any of their background. They're simply giving us some framework information, which I wish we had more.
Are you going to ask them for more?
Well, there's been a lot of requests. There's requests all over the country. They held a call to give us information, and that was the limit of what they would do.
The governor says they'll continue to ask, but as you heard, the federal government has not been terribly forthcoming with that information. And of course, we'll continue to stay on the story and find out exactly how those numbers impact us here in Michigan as we continue to follow this story. Live in Grand Haven, I'm Rick Albin, 24 Hour News 8.